Chris Kelly here with EFT Tapping Solutions. Today we're going to teach you how to quit smoking with EFT Tapping. Let me first say that I'm not here to judge you, okay? And what I want you to do is to stop judging yourself in regards to smoking. I want you to just go ahead and relax, calm down, don't worry about anything in regards to smoking. We're going to work through this right away. So the first thing I'm going to do is take you through a couple of quick rounds of tapping, because me mentioning cigarettes or smoking might make you want to smoke. So let's go ahead and do that. Real quick, if you don't know the tapping sequence, go back and watch my videos in regards to EFT tapping sequence or whatever the name of it's called. I have several videos on all the different points to tap on. So let's go ahead and quitting smoking is our topic, or smoking. We're going to rank this. Usually addictions like drinking and smoking and drugs is usually pretty high. So let's say it's an 8. And let's go ahead and create a quick reminder phrase, such as quitting smoking. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to start with our setup statement. Even though I'm craving smoking, I deeply and completely accept myself. I really want a cigarette right now, but I love myself completely, and I deeply, completely accept myself. Oh, I really want a cigarette right now. I crave smoking. Really want a cigarette right now. I really want a cigarette right now. Oh, I'm craving smoking. Craving smoking. Craving smoking. Craving smoking. Oh, I really want a cigarette. Craving smoking right now. Then go ahead and relax. Take a deep breath like I just did, and adjust your intensity level once again. And then just go ahead and go through this process again. Oh, I still want a cigarette. I'm really craving a cigarette right now. But I deeply and completely love and accept myself. I accept myself even though I still smoke. I accept myself even though I still crave a cigarette right now. And I love myself completely. Oh, I'm still wanting to smoke. Oh, man. Boy, I like smoking. Really enjoy that smoking. Really enjoy smoking. Really enjoy smoking. Really enjoy smoking. And I'm craving a cigarette right now. Still craving a cigarette right now. Okay, go ahead and adjust your intensity level on that one and do a positive round of tapping on this, or a couple rounds, however many you need, based on your own personal need and how you're feeling right now. So if the intensity of wanting to smoke is still really high, keep going through the tapping sequence. That's all I can tell you, and that's the best way to do this. So I know I'm not smoking right now, and I deeply and completely accept myself. I love myself completely, and I accept myself. I'm not smoking right this moment, and I'm very happy. I can break the smoking habit. I'm not really wanting to smoke right now. That intensity has dropped. My intensity level has dropped. I'm doing okay right now. I'm doing okay right now without a cigarette. I don't really need a cigarette right now. I love myself completely and accept myself. I'm not even smoking. Okay? So the next thing I want you to do is I want you to get your EFT tapping notebook out, your little notepad. This is what you need to write down all your notes and everything you're tapping on. I've discussed this in other videos as well. So what I want you to do is to separate out on a piece of paper or multiple sheets of paper the reasons why you want to quit smoking, and the reasons why you're still smoking, or the reasons why you can't quit. And just make a list and break this down, and just have all these different categories of, on the negative side, smoking is detrimental to my health. I might get cancer from smoking. My kids want me to quit smoking. It smells bad. It's a terrible habit. And then if you're a little rebellious and stuff, you might want to go and break against the tradition of things of, well, I don't care if it's bad for me. It hasn't affected me yet, so I'm going to continue to smoke. It's not proven that these two, cancer and cigarettes are linked. There's a lot of different things that you can put on that. And then you can also add the benefits on, like maybe a third column or down below, of how your life will change once you quit smoking. So go ahead and put all of those in there. And just remember, smoking is a symptom. So you got 4 categories also. So you might want to take another piece of paper and write down, the symptoms. Smoking is a symptom of a larger issue, okay? Perhaps you smoke when you drink, and that's the only time. Well, drinking is another symptom of that you don't want to be in this moment, or you're trying to escape right now. So go ahead and list maybe some symptoms. And then what you have are emotions. Maybe when you're anxious or you're stressed out, that's when you want to smoke. Perhaps when you're angry, you want to smoke. Okay, those are the different emotions. So write those down. That's another category. So you have symptoms, you have emotions, and then you have events. So maybe going out with your friends and they all smoke, that's an event. So that's the time you smoke. Perhaps the event was 30 years ago when you began smoking and your father and your mother smoked and it was just accepted as part of society. Maybe that was the event that triggered that, in your mind that it's okay to smoke. And then what you have are limiting beliefs, of, let's see, perhaps you were abused as a child physically or mentally, and now you're using smoking to escape that. So you can look at those events also. So those are the categories, and then everything you write down on there, what you want to do is you want to go ahead and tap on those, okay, if that makes sense. So let's start tapping again. Even though, I'm going to just use some examples here, even though I only smoke when I drink, I deeply and completely accept myself. I love drinking and smoking together. They just go hand in hand. But I still love and accept myself. I love and accept myself completely, even though I still smoke. Every time I drink, I like to smoke. Why am I drinking and smoking at the same time? Why do I have to smoke when I'm drinking? You're just going to tap through all these points, okay? So that's what you want to do. And I mentioned this a couple times in this video, and I want to mention it again, because usually when we smoke, it's a symptom of a bigger issue, okay? And usually when we drink, we smoke, we take drugs, a lot of different addictions like this, or even if you don't have an addiction, what we do is we use substances and other things to escape this moment. Okay, we don't like being in a staff meeting. We don't like being in arguments with our spouse. Perhaps we're just bored and we don't like not having nothing to do. So, let's go have a cigarette. And cigarettes are legal if you're over 18 in the United States, I think. And it's easy. It's a quick little escape from reality. So this is what you need to do, is to try and look at these and these addictions, the smoking and the drinking and bad habits, because it's not healthy for you, is to look at why you're using these or why you want to escape that moment. And usually what you have to do is to break this belief or break this bad habit, and you have to replace it with another habit. So the two things that you can do, and I've created 2 videos on this, is called stress relief meditation. You can do stress relief meditation where you just sit and you just gaze at things. And this holds you in the moment, and it should make you feel a little better so you don't want to escape it. Or the best solution that I have, and why I'm creating this video, is to perform EFT tapping. Just do some tapping every time you want to have a cigarette. Okay? And that brings up another point of, with addictions, a lot of times you're going to have to do a lot of tapping to break this habit and this addiction. And I'm talking, 30 to 50 times a day. Every time you have a craving for a cigarette, or have a feeling, or you're put in a situation where you want to smoke, this is when you need to do tapping, okay? So if you're out at the bar with your friends and you're craving a cigarette, but you're still having a drink and you're not smoking, get up, go to the bathroom, or go outside and perform a couple rounds of tapping. Just do the tapping on that, okay? So that's one of the best ways to do that. Another aspect of smoking cigarettes is that you have usually a physical addiction and you have a mental addiction. Now, to be honest with you, these are one and the same, since the mind and body are together, okay? The physical addiction, although when you're smoking, you will usually feel like you really crave a cigarette or the nicotine in the cigarette, and you probably will, but that's usually the fastest habit or addiction, part of the addiction to break, okay? After a couple days, usually that part of the craving, your physical part, it gets through your system, you're okay with that. The mental aspect of it, though, that's usually the tricky part, and that's the one that hooks us back into this, because every time, whatever triggers you to go ahead and smoke, whether you're just bored and you like to smoke, if you're used to getting out of bed first thing in the morning and having a cigarette with your coffee, if that's what the trigger is, you need to really be aware. And that's the biggest thing, is focusing your intent on the tapping points. You really want to focus on this. And you need to be aware of what you're doing, what you're talking about, how you're dealing with your issues. Every little trigger that says, I'm going to go sneak out the back door for 5 minutes and have a cigarette, okay? So I'm not saying that, there's times when you want to escape a little bit, but what you need to do is replace this bad habit with a good habit. And the good habits would be, doing some breathing exercises. Just count your breaths in. Relax. If you want to let your mind wander, let your mind wander. It's still better than smoking. If you want to just try and do meditation, go ahead and do that. If you want to do EFT tapping, which is what I highly recommend because it combines the physical with your setup statement of the mental. Even though I crave the cigarette, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Okay, so there's some tips. Like I said, make sure, I'm going to grab my little EFT tapping notebook again, and that's the tapping tree. You might want to Google that and get that. But just go ahead and write down, the reasons why smoking is bad or that you want to quit, and then the reasons why you're still doing it. And you're going to go through all these different things. So like I said, look for symptoms, look for emotions, look for events, and look for limiting beliefs. Limiting beliefs are usually the toughest because these are created when you first started smoking and perhaps when you were a child in your developmental years. That's when a lot of these habits and addictions are formed. Or they were formed later in life, but they're coming back to these limiting beliefs that you have. So let me check here. Looks like we covered everything. The biggest thing is, like I said, you've got to do the tapping, okay? In some of the other videos, I skip through the tapping really quick, and like we did here, I just cover a couple items, and we can go through the tapping with you. But what I'd really like you to do is to either call me at area code 702-203-5670 and ask for Chris Kelly, which I'll be the one answering the phone, or make your list and really dig into this yourself, okay? I can tap through, I love the smell of smoke, I love being with my friends, I love the little buzz that, the high that cigarettes give me for a little bit, and they're legal. There's a million reasons of why that we can't break this habit and stuff like that. I have different habits of drinking coffee and things like that. But what you need to do is you need to do the tapping. Just keep tapping through this, and you're going to have to do it, like I said, depending on every time you have a craving, go ahead and start the tapping. And then focus your intent, which is the most important part of this, in my opinion. Really focus on what you're feeling, what your mind picks up. Why are you doing this? You need to go do this because what? You escape this moment? Well, there's a lot of things you can do that are healthier for you to escape this moment. So you need to look at that, and that's all for today. I think I've rambled on enough. So if you're wanting to smoke after watching the quit smoking video, just sit here with me and we'll go through one more. Just, even though I crave a cigarette right now, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. I love and accept myself completely, even though I still want to smoke. I really enjoy smoking. I enjoy the heck out of smoking, but I deeply and completely love and accept myself. I'm still craving smoking. I'm trying to break this habit of smoking, but I still crave it. I'm really craving cigarettes right now. I want to smoke right now. I really want to smoke right now. I wish I had a cigarette right now. I like lighting up the cigarette right now. I like watching that fire. I like that flame. Oh, that deep inhalation. And just go ahead and relax, and then rate your intensity level again, and then just start tapping again. Maybe it's that first inhalation, like I said, that first big drag off the cigarette. Oh, I have that drag, it gives me that buzz, I feel so good, but I deeply and completely love and accept myself. And then just tap through that whole sequence. Go through that, go through every part of purchasing cigarettes, when you smoke cigarettes, write all this down in your EFT tapping journal, and just start tapping through them. It might take you some time, but if you do the tapping every 15 minutes, every half hour, every 5 hours, whenever it is that you crave a cigarette at specific events, like, oh, I just got out of the meeting, I want a cigarette. I just got done with work and I'm driving home, I want a cigarette. There are certain moments in your life that trigger when you want to smoke. So what you need to do is just replace those and those moments with EFT tapping. So Chris Kelly with EFT Tapping Solutions. I'm going to let you go for right now, and I will talk to you soon. Have a great day, and start working on this because smoking is not good for you. Take care. See you later.